Hello and welcome to another episode of Road and Race. I'm here in my Nissan 350Z and we're just popping out to get some stuff from the shops. So on my way I thought I'd take the time to talk about all the work I did over the winter, all the mods I did, and tell you, what I think of all the work I did and if it was worth it really. So there were three things I did while the car was apart and I was rust proofing it. I fitted camber arms to the front wheels to give me a bit more negative camber. I fitted high flow cats to the exhaust to give me maybe a bit more performance and a bit more noise. And I also polybushed every single part of the suspension. So I got rid of all the rubber bushings and put stiffer polyurethane bushes on. So let's go through each one of those now and I'll talk about how they feel. So first up, let's talk about the poly bushes. Well, they're much stiffer than your normal rubber bushing, so I thought, oh yeah, this will make the car feel a lot more taut and a lot more kind of poised and stiff. And considering how much effort it was to do it all, it hasn't been the night and day difference I thought it really could have been. It's quite subtle actually, really. I mean, I'm going to do a full track test of this car in the coming weeks, but just day to day on the roads, you don't really notice much of a performance benefit. It is a bit crashier though, so when you hit a pothole or whatnot, the car does crash a lot more, so it does make the car a little bit less comfortable. Also, it does introduce a little bit more noise into the cabin, so this wasn't a very well soundproof car to begin with, and now it's a little bit noisier still. Not so bad, but it's a little bit noticeable. Hopefully on the track you'll notice the biggest improvement where you're really leaning on the car, so we'll see how that goes. Moving on to the high flow cats. Now I replaced these because my existing cats were very rusty, so I didn't really have much choice, and there's a very good alternative. Should give up to 15 horsepower. Can't really tell that in the car. I mean, maybe if I got it on dyno I'd find out exactly how much horsepower the car's got now, but it's a nice addition. There's a good thing about high flow cats and there's a bad thing. The bad thing is that the car is extremely noisy on cold start now. I'll go to a quick sound clip of it. Probably don't really realise how loud that is, but when you start up in a small village where I live, it's really quite embarrassing and quite loud. Luckily it does go away after about 10 minutes or so. The good thing about it though is the noise it makes on the standard exhaust. So this is just the standard back box, but when you really open it up, it really sings. It's a really nice sound, really improves the stock exhaust sound, really happy about that. And finally onto the camber arms. So fitted adjustable front arms to the wheels, that gives you a bit more negative camber. So if your wheel starts off kind of straight, you put a bit more negative camber in, should give you more grip on the corners. The front of the car isn't adjustable from the factory. The rear is to a certain extent, but the front isn't. So I put those camber arms now, and I took it out to this your garage and did all the adjustments myself. So I'm running 2¼ degrees of negative camber on every wheel. And how does it feel? It's really good. It's really good. It's so pointy now. The car in the corners just really kind of grips, and just moving it day to day, the amount of input you have to put on the wheel to change direction now is really small. The steering was always a little bit numb, and you had to turn it a little bit. It wasn't really all that darty or pointy, the steering, but it's really improved it now, and it's just so wants to go. It's like just pointing, it goes there. It feels like there's a lot more grip on the corners are there. If you try and point this into a corner going fairly fast, it does feel a lot more grip there. So I think it's a mod well worth doing there. Just for full disclosure, I did put polyurethane bushings into the steering rack as well, which is probably help of the nimbleness and the directness of the steering on the car as well. Again, full track test coming up in this car, but I really think on the corners this will be a lot more capable now. Just a quick video about how the car feels. If you've got any questions about what I've done, or what mods I've done, or anything I've missed out on this video, please leave a comment in the comments section. As always, please leave a like, it really helps, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching.